Welcome everyone to part 12 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV with me, Tor. Last time we completed the Gridania starting city questline, and I believe we have now merged with the storylines from the other three cities. But let's speak to Bartholomew, who has our next quest. Bartholomew has information that may be of interest to you. Ah, my lady Envoy, I trust your stay in the Sultanate has been pleasant. Now, if you don't mind my asking, do you perchance have plans to visit Limsa in the near future? If so, I have information that may be of interest to you. I once accompanied the Flame General on an official visit to the seaside city-state, during which time I became acquainted with Bilderon, the proprietor of the Drowning Wench. Well, the man sent word just now that he has a job for a capable adventurer. I can think of none with better credentials than you. Balderon would doubtless be pleased were you to offer him your services. Okay, we need to go back to Limsa. Correct. We were going to just run there, but that's going to take a lot of time. So let's use the quickest way instead. So right-click on the Ether Shard. And in the previous episode, we mapped out Limsa and Uldo. We got all the Ether Shards, so which gave us additional exit-only options. So we want to choose the airstrip landing. And this time, speak to the airship ticketer. And our quest is in Limsa. Now, if you want to skip a cutscene, hit escape. Speak to the lift attendant and choose the Drowning Wench. So this will deposit us from the elevator into the Drowning Wench. We have access to in rooms from here, but we also can speak with Balderon, who is proprietor of the Drowning Wench, and that is the Adventurers Guild here in Limsa. Welcome to the Drowning Wench. Sit wherever you like, lass. I'll be with you in a... I'm Balderon. All right, who asking? Ah, as I've got a job for a capable adventurer, you say? Well, you're bloody right. Just so you're fairly warned, though, this ain't no job for the faint of heart. Things are liable to get downright bleeding airy. But if you think you're still interested, let me know and I'll fill you in on the details. Okay, bronze, curious, cotton shirt, cotton coat. Okay, no measurable benefit from either of these. So, elegant bronze piece, please. Right click. It's probably pirates. Balderon, the proprietor of the Drowning Wench, has need of a capable adventurer. I thank ye for taking the time to help me out. Now, I'm sure you're busy, so I'll come straight to the point. Word as it's some suspicious-looking buggers have been sneaking in and out of the Sastasha Seagrot, and I need a trustworthy sort to end up north of Elport and find out who they are and what they're up to. Don't sound like much, I know. But it weren't so long as the Fishback's pet pirates paid us an unwelcome visit, and folk are feeling a bit nervous. If you will permit me, Master Belder, if you will permit me, Master Belderon, I should be happy to elaborate. Well, well, if it ain't the Chief Yellow Jacket himself. To what do I owe this rare honor, Commodore Raynor? Come to make sure me patrons are behaving, or just thirsty? Neither. In fact, I was informed that you had requested an adventurer to assist in my investigation, and I came to offer what information I could sift from recent reports. Over the course of the past moon, there have been several sightings of an unfamiliar vessel off the coast of Aleport in the vicinity of the Isles of Umbra. This information came to my attention no more than a few weeks after a squad of my own soldiers had completed a routine patrol of the region, the Sestasha Sea Grot included. Their search revealed little, save that a family of corals had taken up residence in the caves. Nothing to concern us, in short. In light of recent developments, however, it would seem wise to search Sestasha again. But with the Sahagan testing our defenses daily, I am loath to assign the task to the limited resources at my disposal. Our line is stretched as it is. Thus, I sought the services of the competent adventurer to conduct an investigation in our stead. Any aid you can offer in this matter would be greatly appreciated. Then it's settled. Sestasha is located in western Lenosha. For more detailed instructions on how to reach the place, I suggest you consult Velpa. She can be found at the ferry docks on the lower decks. You heard the man? Good luck to you, lass. And I believe she might be just outside the Fisherman's Guild. So I don't know why they designed it like this, but this big entryway goes to an open area here. Maybe in a previous generation that was to something. But you want to go toward the left or to the east. And we're back at the aft castle. Yep. So right-click on the Ether Shard and you choose Fisherman's Guild. So this is a really handy Ether Shard to have because it's right near the ferry here. You heard about Commodore Raynor's investigation? Then you'll want to board a ferry bound for Aleport. Once you arrive in western Lenosha, though, you'll best pay a visit to the Hall of the Novice before you blunder into Sestasha. The Adventurers Guild runs the hall, and the folk there will prepare you, train you with the skills you need to face the dangers undoubtedly waiting for you in the Sea Group. The hall is on the way to Sestasha, just north of Aleport. Head inside, and one of the seasoned adventurers will take you in hand. Best of luck to you, friend. So, right-click on the ferry skipper. He will give you a couple of different options. We want to go to Aleport. Costa del Sol is a level 30 zone, and I believe the Mist might be the personal housing in Limbs of the Mensa. This ferry is bound for Aleport. Are you riding with us? Now, you can get to this area by foot or by chocobo. And welcome to Aleport. It's a bit of a hike, but go ahead and hit run. And the first thing we want to do is we want to tune to the Ether Shard and also register with the Chocobo Keep. But here we want to attune to the Ether Crystal so we can teleport here if we so wanted. And the next thing we want to do is register with the Chocobo Keep. This will allow us to take a Chocobo to Aleport or from Aleport. Well met, Traveler. Might I interest you in a Chocoporter? Ah, don't tell me this is your first visit to this stop. I shall update my register with your name that you may access this location in the future. Yep, this is what we'll say the first time you access them, and the quest marker will go away. Now, right out the gate here, you'll see the Hall of the Novice right here. If you are a tank class, either a gladiator, a marauder, or you definitely want to go through here. Healers also, DPS, but I believe they require to go through here. But Sestasha is our first dungeon, and this is basically right where it is. And I believe they're going to require us to go through the Hall of the Novice before we take that on. For tanks, they do give for tanks they give a good set of gear that will get you through the first couple of dungeons, and they do kind of give a basic once over of what to do when you are a tank. Healer also. We'll go through this as a DPS, and we'll see if I can get another class through here also. Ah, you must be the adventurer whom the Yellow Jacket sent word. I hear you are to brave the depths of the Sestasha Seagrot. The occupants of those caves are rumored to be as numerous as they are bloodthirsty, no matter what the epic tales would have you believe. Strolling into such a den of savagery alone would be the height of foolishness. No, you shall need companions. And you shall need the training we here at the Hall of the Novice can provide. I strongly suggest that you study the fundamentals of group combat before continuing your mission. The smith here oversees the training schedules. Speak with him, and you can register for exercises tailored to your particular field of expertise. When you have mastered all that our masters have to teach, then it will be time to head north once more, report to the Yellow Jacket Scout at the mouth of the Sestasha Seagrot, and he will furnish you with the details of your duty. So you only need to do this once. But the icon here that has the same as the little sprout next to your name, that is the smith. Speak with him. Greetings, I am one of the smiths, a stoker of the fires and forger of futures. As a dedicated member of the Adventurers Guild, I have been entrusted with the task of providing assistance to newborn adventurers. And you also find a smith in each of the adventurer guilds in Gridania, Limsa, and Uldo. You don't have to travel to Aleport. Well, well, the mantle of adventurer does not drape so awkwardly from your shoulders as it once did. But while questing alone certainly brings its own rewards, you haven't truly adventured until you've delved into some darkened dungeon, stalwart comrades at your side. Ancient ruins, echoing caverns, and all manner of deadly places lie hidden across the realm. And these are best conquered in the company of trustworthy allies. And such advice holds true for many a formidable foe that would crush a solitary adventurer. How one fights in a party, however, is often drastically different from how one fights alone. Thus did we construct the Hall of the Novice, where we endeavor to prepare you for those differences. Here within these walls, we offer burgeoning heroes a bevy of training exercises. Step into the flames, my friend, and forge the skills you shall need for the morrow. You now have access to the Hall of the Novice. Register for training exercises by speaking with one of the smiths. Okay, so we are a DPS class, so that's the one we shall take. And when you come up for a dungeon, when the dungeon is ready, you'll see this here. So we are synced to a level, which means our level has been either increased or reduced to a specific one. So we're learning avoidance. An enemy often tips his hand before a big attack, and your best defense is to skip out of the way. You pass the exercise once I decide you've learned this lesson. Everything is clear, I trust. Say the word when you are ready to begin. Are you prepared to commence the training then? This training exercise is now underway. Watch your opponent carefully. When you see an attack coming, move out of the strike zone. So this is very similar to the enemies we've seen. That orange kind of cone, that is the area of effect, and we don't want to get hit by it, so just simply move to the side, and we will not be affected. And it's not always a cone. And you can also get ranged attacks. So getting hit by these can cause moderate damage to big damage. You can also cause status effects, such as this. Once the mark has gone away, you can safely move back into the area, and you won't be harmed. Nicely done. Learning to avoid the obvious attacks is a skill all adventurers need. Those who insist on standing still won't long survive the profession. And speaking of survival, perfecting each of my lessons will earn you a piece of armor to aid you in your chosen role. Should you feel so inclined, repeat the same lesson with the other masters that they might reward you with equipment tailored towards their fields of expertise. Here's your prize for completing this exercise, but remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. According to my records, you have yet to fully complete your training. You are under no obligation to finish the final exercise, of course, but there is much to gain and not to be lost in the attempt. Since we're getting gear, I recommend it. So, since we are the DPS, we are the ones that deal damage. And we don't want to get the attention of the enemy while we're at it. That's also a good point. We want to attack the enemy that the tank has gotten attention of. Your ally will hold the enemy's attention. It's your job to take the foe down. So the tank will go in and he will get the enemy's attention, and then we are to go attack the same enemy. We don't want to. In the past, we took on the ads and then, took out down the boss. We want to attack the enemies that the tank is keeping track, that tank has gotten a hold of, because he will keep their aggression. So for sake of brevity, to get through these, I might not necessarily read the text as I previously have. So this is our ally. This is a tank. He is a guardian. So you want to go to the side or to the back. Now this is the enemy here. And right now he is green. That is good because it means that he's not concerned. If that turns red, then you want to run towards the tank here so he can easily get control of the enemy again. Okay, and he's going to talk about attacking the same enemy again. So I know there's a lot of background noise, so if you didn't hear me, if you're in a dungeon fight and you do get the attention of an enemy, what you want to do is run towards the tank, because the tank has his own window there, and he will see a list of enemies, and he will be able to tell if he lost any of them. So don't go running around like it. Don't go running around like, oh my gosh, I'm being attacked. Oh my gosh, I'm being attacked. You want to run towards the tank and stay there, and then he will do his skills to gain the enemy's attention back, taking the pressure off of you. Then you can go back and do your attacks again. You also want to make sure you do not get hit by AOEs, because a healer is going to be in charge of healing the group, and you don't want to make his job harder. You don't want to make his job unnecessarily harder. Sometimes, once in a while, you may get hit, and that's fine. All right, what are we doing in this one? Multiple opponents. So yeah, with multiple opponents, you want to keep track of which one everybody is attacking. You want to attack the same one. Oh, and equip the boots we got from the previous mission. So you want to start with the staff waver. That's this guy. Now notice it was yellow and it went back to green. That is the tank. He is getting attention back from the caster. Okay, so we want to do the pugilist second. And then finally the tank. In a regular dungeon, you won't get yelled at for attacking the wrong foe, so long as you're attacking in the group. But you want to take a look at the enemy list and look at whose health bar is draining the most, because you do want to focus down enemies quickly. It just makes things quicker. All right, what's this one? Do you remember the lesson where I had you evading enemy attacks? This exercise will put the training to the test. You must needs plan your strikes around some fancy footwork. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training. Little base is going to be a repeat, but there's going to be AOEs. Okay, so we are attacking this guy. And bosses will regularly randomly choose a person and do an attack. If you're a melee DPS like I am, and you have a ranged attack, go ahead and use it while you're evading AOEs. But not everybody does it. But it does keep the DPS up. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have to deal with reinforcements. And must be quick to eliminate them, but also the tank needs to be quick and get their attention. So keeping a lookout at the side of the left here, the enemy list, but you also want to keep an eye out, like this guy. Now you want to back towards the... Now, if that was a normal person instead of a he would have gotten the attention. Now, this is just a game. This is just a game AI, so he didn't grab the attention of the ads. But the healer himself, he should have just not stood there. He should have run towards the tank like we were doing, and that just makes it easier for the tank to get their attention, so that they're attacking the tank and not you. So that's a good exercise for what happens when you get the attention of somebody. Okay, so this one introduces us to game mechanics. During a boss battle, there will be some mechanics, whether it's avoiding attacks, going to certain markers on the field, or in this case, closing a portal or standing over something to prevent people from getting in. So this is what he's talking about. So now we need to get... We have the Memphilia's earring that may be influencing the rate at what we're leveling up. Yeah, we want to pay attention to game mechanics where, especially like with the Sestasha Sea Groot, there's going to be a mechanic where we have to stand on something to prevent ads from coming in. I believe the next one might be the final one. Yep, this is the final. You've arrived at the mountain's peak, the final exercise. As a culmination of your training, all the skills you've acquired will be put to the test. Put your lessons into practice and you'll do just fine. Say the word and ready to begin. So for battles like this, it's best to use your mouse wheel to give yourself a So this guy represents the end boss. Oops. And to use my stun. Oh well. Okay. And let's not join a fate. Okay, and so even with the DPS, they do have like 7 lessons. They do have a same like about 6 or 7 lessons for the tank. I've done that, but we also gained some decent gear. All of our gear now is level 17, and we even got a ring to replace one of the level 1 rings that we got. So yeah, it's a good idea to do the Hall of the Novice, but that's going to do it for this time around. Next time, we will continue to our very first dungeon, Sastasha Seagrad. So until then, have a great day, and we will see you there.